What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers get the dub once again. They win by a score of 6-3. They improved to 93-42 on the season. That magic number sits at 7 games. It looks like the Diamondbacks blew it there at the end, but I'm not too worried about this. The Dodgers are going to win this division. I don't even care if they win this division because I think it's about a World Series title. I don't really get caught up too much in magic numbers because my magic number is 11 postseason wins, and that is how the season is going to be judged. But what a night for the Dodgers. Last night they had their 8-game winning streak to the Giants snap. They come back and they win tonight. I think Tyler Anderson, the grit that's on display from Tyler, the outs creator, from Tyler Anderson on a game-to-game basis, nothing gets to him, and that's what I love about it, and that was on display on the first pitch of the game. He serves a dinger to Brinson. He homered off him to give the Giants a 1-0 lead, but he comes back and he ends up pitching 7 innings of 3-run ball, gave the Dodgers a great shot to win. He was very efficient out there. He was pounding the zone with strikes, 87 pitches, 70 for strikes, not tons of swing and miss, but you saw missing barrels, you saw soft contact, 8 hits he allowed tonight, but a very impressive night. No walks for Tyler Anderson. He's now 14-3 on the season. I thought Chris Martin pitched well in his 1-inning work, 2 strikeouts, and then how about Craig Kimbrel? Craig Kimbrel. Look, the first part of the season where he struggled, you can let it go because now that we have frozen Craig Kimbrel, he is a different man. In 6 appearances since changing his entrance song to Let It Go, 0 hits and 0 runs. I mean, before he would melt down like Olaf in the desert, but he looks like a new guy. And I think Oral had made a great point there where it's kind of given him a reason to just have a relationship with the fan base and kind of let his guard down a little bit with this fan base that just hadn't embraced him early on in the season. But let me know who is your player of the game. I want all Frozen Bro LOL from Moose1032. By the way, as always, I'm looking for that comment of the night. Bring those comments of the night. If you have the comment of the night, you're a contender, you're going to see one of these.
You win.
Also, be sure to make those fire takes. As always, you'll see one of these. Fire take. Will W., Giants daddy, making adjustments. Yeah, you saw the adjustments he made with his legs, with his hips there. And I think the most impressive thing with Max Muncy is, yes, he does own the Giants. The Giants aren't owned by Charles B. Johnson. They're owned by Maxwell Stephen Muncy. Max Muncy hit his 19th and 20th home runs of his career against the San Francisco Giants. And, yeah, when he sees that orange and black, he sees red. In his career at .915 OPS versus San Francisco, heading into tonight, and he was fantastic once again. And heading into tonight, a lot of people were saying, oh, Max Muncy has really cooled off. He was 3 for 18 in the month of September, hitting a $188. But you saw tonight that he can make adjustments on the fly, and I think what was impressive too was just how quickly he got his barrel to the ball on that Garcia pitch, and he just smoked it and pulled it into right field for a home run. And then his second bomb of the night was an opposite field shot. So hitting home runs to both sides of the field, he ends up going 3 for 4 tonight with 3 RBI, 2 home runs for Max Muncy. So yeah, definitely a positive sign. The fact that, yes, he made the big adjustment with the step back, allowing himself to get behind fastballs and get that bat path through the zone and make hard contact, but to make another adjustment after having that hot streak and having a dip again, that is the difference between a player like Max Muncy and a player like Cody Bellinger, who doesn't appear to be making very many adjustments at all. We're going to get into his outing. I saw Dodgers Twitter was going to throw a parade after he drew a walk today, and he had those 3 walks the other day. But, yeah, another tonight, Cody Bellinger goes 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. That batting average is 1 point below the Mendoza line at 199. But let's get into this comment section. Here we go. We got Kimbrel confirmed Dodgers Nation viewer David Raw. Yeah, I think he might be. I think he might be a Dodgers Nation viewer because, look, you guys know I was probably one of the only people in Dodgerland that was giving him a chance. I gave you the BABIP numbers telling you that the batting average on balls in play was extraordinarily high, meaning that it's bad luck that he was experiencing. When you look at the disparity between his FIP and his ERA, I was telling you about that. Really, the issue with Craig Kimbrel was allowing too many hits. And, yeah, he seems to have figured something out. He just feels like he's more relaxed there on the mound. Let it go, let it go. I mean, I think he's let a lot of the pressure go and just gone out there and executed. And look, I did call him Craig Crumble, and a lot of you guys told me I should have gotten T-shirts made that said Craig Crumble. But look, the reality is that the best thing for this Dodgers bullpen and this Dodgers team is for Craig Kimbrel to become a reliable closer once again. Because if he can assume that role, that allows Blake Trinan and that allows Evan Phillips, Fireman Phillips, and Fireman Trinan to be those high leverage guys that Dave Roberts can deploy in high leverage situations. And sometimes that's the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. Sometimes that's with runners on base. Sometimes that's facing the meat of the lineup. And you want to maintain that flexibility with your best relievers and then have Craig Kimbrel come on in a clean inning with no one on base and get those final 3 out. So if you want to root for what's best for this Dodgers team and this Dodgers bullpen, the back end of this bullpen, you should root for Craig Kimbrel to have success. So take that frozen and crank it up another notch, man. Look, you can have a frozen night, have Elsa throw out the first pitch, like I said before, he would melt down like Olaf in the desert. But yes, of course, hasn't been too many high leverage situations, and we know that the clean innings have been an issue. The ability to come in and slam the door shut in one-run games has been an issue. But I definitely think that if you ask me if it's something, nothing, or everything, I would say it is something at this point. But let me know down below in the comment section. Do you think, I know it sounds crazy, but this time last year we were talking about how Cody Bellinger buzzing his hair and cutting off his hair was turning around his season, and what ended up happening at a 907 OPS in October 2nd, behind only Chris Taylor as the Dodgers' most productive player in the postseason. So is this Craig Kimbrel? 6 appearances, no runs, and no hits since changing his song to Let It Go from the Frozen soundtrack. Is it something, nothing, or everything? I want your takes down below in the comment section. Also, give me your player of the game. Signed Pico de Gaia. That's from Kosako over on YouTube. Hope I said that right. But what more can you say about Joey Gallo? He goes 1 for 3 tonight with 3 RBI. And my favorite thing about Joey Gallo tonight was he hit that damn baseball so hard, his bat broke. And it still left the yard at the rate that it did. So, look, when he finds a way to connect, I mean, it is a moonshot each and every time. So, Joey Gallo, he goes out there, he gets a 3-run shot. So, that's definitely his 4th home run as a Dodger. And, look, he's popular in that clubhouse. He's a guy that everyone wants to see succeed. And, it was 103.6 miles per hour off the bat, a distance of 408 feet. The pitch velocity at 95. It was a fastball inner half, and he just absolutely just crushed it right in his nitro zone, and that put the Dodgers back on top 3-1 after Tyler Anderson, he allowed that bomb to Brinson there in the top of the 1st inning. So following that, Taylor, he struck out swinging, Bellinger struck out looking, then Betts fly to center. But the Dodgers, they end up getting 3 runs on 2 hits. But I think the story tonight definitely has to be Max Muncy owning the Giants. And the fact that 8 strikeouts over his last 3 games, and he comes in and has a monster game. He is the ultimate Giant slayer, is Maxwell Muncy. But also, how about the fact, what a difference a year makes? Because, guys, mash that like button, mash that heart button, because guess what? Ding dong, the witch is dead. The Giants season is over when it comes to the National League West. The Giants, after this loss, have been officially eliminated from NL West contention. In a year after, of course, we saw what they did, snapping the Dodgers' 8-year division winning streak. And the Dodgers, they eliminate them in early September. On September 6th? And it's just great to see. After they won 107 games last year, they clearly sold their soul to the baseball devils. They clearly ran out of that orange and black voodoo magic that they were using last season. But here we go. Elsa, I love this. Iris K, early contender for comment of the night. Elsa from Iris K. Iris K over on YouTube says Elsa is the player of the game. I love it. The kids all love it. That's from Dave Stoffer. That's over on Facebook. Muncy's your player of the game from Doug Crosby Jr. Dominic Ward, Giants eliminated. Let's go. Let's let it go. Let it go. Diane Schroeder, Kimbrel is fighting to keep his job. Nice walk-up song change, Diane Schroeder. That's what I appreciate you about, Diane. Yes, sometimes we get very emotional after tough losses, but hey, if players turn around, we're also the first to give credit. And that's a good example right there. That walk-up song. Better see Kimbrel. I love this. This over on YouTube. Japanese characters. I'm sorry, I'm not fluent in reading Japanese, but better see Kimbrel at the Disneyland parade. Yeah, that would be a full circle moment, right? Just to see him winning the World Series, having at Disneyland and playing that song. I'm telling you, you're onto something. That'd be a great moment for sure. But back into this comment section right here, we got the chunky Muncy over on Javier Morris says for player of the game, what happened to that fluke season, huh, Giants fans? That's from Dominic World. Yeah, let all the Giants hate out. And do you think last season was a fluke, or do you think that Gabe Kapler and Farhan Zaidi and the powers that be up in San Francisco are up to something? To me, they feel like they're wannabe Dodgers. I think Farhan, in my opinion, is just a little bit overrated. I think that some of his moves, not trading Rodon and Jock Peterson to try to flip for some prospects, I definitely think that they could have found a way to rebuild quicker because, look, you're not only going against the Dodgers, you're going against the San Diego Padres. By the way, hello, D-Mac and Dodgers Nation. What up, Carnivorous Lunar Activity? Always rocking with us. We appreciate you here. Max, player of the game. That's from Diane Shooter. Yeah, look, it's Max Payne against the Giants because what he's able to do to them, like I said, OPS over 915, 20 career bombs against San Francisco. Of course, the most iconic one is go get it out of the ocean. And today, it was go get it out of the right field and left field pavilions. I think that was so impressive for Max Muncy to hit home runs to both fields, to make that adjustment with his legs, with his stance and set up there to just give himself a better opportunity to get his barrel to the ball. And yeah, it was much quicker to the ball tonight. It was definitely noticeable for sure. But I think I think so many people were just kind of obsessed with the fact that, the big story tonight, of course, Max Muncy hit the game he had. How about Tyler Anderson? I really think you can't say enough about TA tonight, the efficiency, and the fact that, look, he was putting up scoreless inning after scoreless inning after that first pitch four-seam fastball that the Giants have been aggressive this series, but Brinson, he jumps on that four-seam fastball, 90 miles per hour up in the zone, but then he goes 1, 2, 3 after that. Then the top of the second inning, he allowed that single to Bart on a 2-1 pitch, the cutter, bottom of the zone. Then VR, he singled first pitch fastball. So that was clearly the game plan against Tyler Anderson, was to try to jump on that first pitch four-seam fastball, but still he allows those 2 hits in the second inning, doesn't allow a run. Then you jump to that top of the third, he goes 1, 2, 3. I thought the four-seam fastball up in the zone to get Davis, that was a big pitch for him. So yeah, then you really started to get it going with that command. In the fourth inning, he gets Longoria to ground to second, soft contact there. Then Estrada, he singles, second pitch changeup, leaves it up a little bit out over the plate. Estrada's able to get a single, and then he gets Crawford to ground into that fielder's choice there. And that was a big play as well. And then he gets, then after that, he bounces back with Estrada on base, and he's able to get Bart swinging on a four-seam fastball up in the zone. So that's definitely a pitch. Not tons of swing and miss tonight, but challenging hitters with that elevated four-seam fastball while changing those eye levels. You saw a lot of that, working that cutter down the zone and then going upstairs with the four-seam fastball. Definitely an effective pitch. Then in the fifth inning, allows another leadoff single, first pitch four-seam fastball. Like I said, that was their approach tonight to ambush TA early in the count, but he bounces back, and that's what I just love about Tyler Anderson. Does not matter how much traffic there is. It could be the bases loaded or the bases empty. It could be a 1-run game or a 7-run lead. He has the same mound presence out there, and I think that's what's so impressive about him, and that's why I love him in the postseason for the Dodgers. I think that changeup with that vertical movement, if he has the feel for it, could be a very dangerous weapon. But yeah, Villar gets that leadoff single to right to start the fifth, and then Johnson grounds in that fielder's choice to third. They get Villar at second, and then he gets Brinson to ground to that fielder's choice. And then Flores, he gets a 2-out single, left that cutter a little out over the plate, so that was some of the issue on some of his hits. And then he gets Davis to foul to first for the third out, so no runs on 2 hits. So gave a lot of hits, but they weren't turning into very many runs. And then the top of the sixth on that Crawford home run, that changeup, just inner half, and Crawford just turned on it, and yeah, it was a pretty majestic shot. I mean, just hooked right into the foul, right through the foul pole, and it was a 2-run shot because Longoria, he singled on the first pitch, that changeup, but then he bounces back, he strikes out Bart on 3 pitches, then gets Villar to ground to second, and then you jump to that 7th inning, a 1-2-3 inning for TA. So I think I would give Tyler Anderson I would give him a B today, a solid B, based on the fact that, hey, he has to go out there, give the Dodgers some length, give them some innings, and I thought it was definitely a positive sign for him to go out there and just continue to do work for this Dodgers rotation and just to eat innings so you don't tax that bullpen. But let's jump into these comment section, guys. Everything. Okay, Belly was in BABIP heaven in the playoffs last year. He still struck out 33% of the time. That's from Jamie Lannister. That's a fair point. You think they clinch at Petco? Maya X. I think that's possible for sure. Got to look at it, but that'd be pretty nice. Gallo the GOAT. That's from Cristobal Maez. Galileo. Shout out to Matt Ariulo. CT 3 strikes, you're out, from Joe Correa. That's what we said last time. Yeah, I mean, Chris Taylor, he definitely continues to struggle. There's no question about it. He hasn't looked himself consistently at the plate for quite some time. And tonight he goes 0 for 3 with 3K. So CT 3K tonight. And if you look at his numbers since the start of September, it's been pretty bad for Chris Taylor. Make no mistake about it. Heading into tonight's action, he was 2 for 11, hitting 182. Strikeouts he had cut down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, yeah, he's been a strikeout machine. Chris, swing and miss Chris. Goodbye, GNATs are frauds. So you guys are letting out. Doug, is Kapler's job on the line? LLWC. I don't think so. I think when you consider the year he had last season, manager of the year, leading them to 107 wins, I think Gabe Kapler has proven that if you give him enough talent, that he can contend in a division. I think the issue is, yeah, I think you lose Buster Posey, their emotional leader. They made the deal for Chris Bryant. I think Gosman, the Rodon was a great signing, but when it came to depth in the top of that rotation, just didn't quite have it. Their bullpen hadn't been the same. You don't have the same magic with late night Lamont, so I think he's definitely fine. I think definitely it's still premature to think they'll replace him. And I think when you consider how this team is modeled, the Los Angeles Dodgers, you see how they use Dave Roberts as an extension of the front office, of the analytics department, of Andrew Friedman and the baseball ops department. I think it's a similar situation with Gabe Kapler trying to use all these analytics to make decisions. So I think it's a good partnership between him and Farhan, and I think that's definitely his guy. So Joe Davis said San Diego fans are booing Soto. I heard that too, and I got that shirt. Love it. Yeah, man, born and raised Lakers and Dodgers. I'm getting, the sports equinox vibes today, right? With football, the NFL, college football, the NHL, the NBA, Dodger baseball, postseason baseball. Guys, this is the greatest time. This is the most wonderful time of the year. But Joe Davis said SD fans are booing. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. I mean, you don't think of the Padres as fans like the Yankees who would boo Giancarlo Stanton after his first at-bat, or what they did to Joey Gallo. But yeah, I mean, if I'm the Padres, just be happy that you have anyone down there. I don't think that's a great move if I'm the Padres and I want to try to sign him long-term, because Juan Soto, sure, maybe he's not playing his absolute best, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely a talent that'll even out for sure. We got wives and girlfriends not happy, Giants won't. Jacob, yeah, you must be watching the breakdowns. Yeah, of course. Happy Tuesday, my dude. Yeah, right back at you, Anthony Keene. Yeah, I mean, look, the Giants, like I said, it was a one-year little fluke situation. I think when it comes down to it, that yeah, we'll see what they're able to do in the future with this team. But yeah, they're gonna have to make some signings, man. I mean, I was thinking, will they be a major player? Will they be a major player for Aaron Judge? Of course, he is from Northern California, went to Fresno State. The Giants, they have some money. There's no question about that. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the future. But, yeah, here we go. But, yeah, to answer your question about Gavin Lux, yeah, he's had some neck issues, some back issues. And when they were in New York, those started to flare up once again. And the OC Register's Bill Plunkett, he said that he received a cortisone injection to treat the pain, and he is going to have to miss some time. So Dave Roberts said that he will likely miss 5 to 6. It'll be 5 to 6 days until we're having a conversation about getting him in the lineup. But he also said that he's not going to have a trip to the IL. So that's where it stands with Gavin Lux. So hopefully he'll progress in the right direction. But right now he did receive that cortisone shot. He has had some pain in his neck and his back, but he is avoiding IL stint. But let's go Dodgers. That's from Ben over on Facebook. Here, I'll hit you one of these. Giants were doing something last season. Losing one player doesn't have that much effect on all those players. Remember, late night Lamont, all those guys fell off bad. That's from Moose 1032. Yeah, it definitely feels a little suspect. I'm not going to lie. Giants suck. Hey, Giants suck, man. I like that. Just keep it nice and simple, but all caps. Scarface TM over on YouTube. EB Craig Crumble needs to sing Let It Go since he looks like Elsa with that long hair. EB, come on now. You're trying to bring that fire take.
Fire take.
You trying to bring that burn. TA has that dog in him. Yeah, JB12. I like when you guys do the callbacks to the breakdowns. Yeah, he does have that dog in him. That X-dog off the charts. Of course, D-Mac in the zone. Edgar Contreras. Hey, man, just happy to be rocking with you guys, man. Holiday weekend. Took a couple days off, but hey, man, we're going to be back rocking for the home stretch. Roger Kennard, a big night for Muncy, not so much for Cody. I'm hitting below the Mendoza line. Bellinger, let's go Dodgers 2022. Roger, the Los Angeles Dodger. Look, for me, you guys know I'm a Belly Ever. You know I would like nothing more than to see Cody Bellinger have success and be just anything like he was from 2017 to 2019, but he has been a shell of himself, right? There's no question about it. And for me, I was looking at some of the numbers today, and it's pretty staggering. I mean, Cody Bellinger from 2007 to 2019, he had a 928 OPS, he had 111 home runs, had a 140 WRC plus, so that means his production at the plate was 40% better than league average. He had a 15.4 F4. He won the Rookie of the Year. He made 2 All-Star teams, the 2019 MVP. And then from 2020 to 2022, that 928 OPS, that's dropped down to a 653 OPS. 111 home runs in 450 games, 1,840 plate appearances, just 39 home runs in 271 games, and 1,064 plate appearances. That WRC plus went from 140, almost cut that in half, to 77, which is 23 points below league average of 1.9 F4. You hate to see it, but it's been a real struggle with Cody Bellinger. And, yeah, it's going to be a tough decision for this Dodger team in the offseason because are you really going to bank? They really kind of already bet on Belly with bringing him back and kind of giving him that chance that he has. But, I mean, he signed that 1-year, $17 million deal, and because of how arbitration works, you're not going to see less than that. So will they be in a situation, will non-tender Cody Bellinger? I want to ask you guys that question. If you were the Dodgers, would you non-tender Cody Bellinger and maybe allow James Outman to be your opening day starting center fielder in 2022? I'm going to do a whole video on that, so I don't want to tell you all the takes, but I want your thoughts on that, and we'll probably include some of your takes in the next video over on YouTube. But let's jump back into this comment section. What are your thoughts on? Hey man, what are your thoughts on Craig Kimbrel? Because look, a 0.00 ERA since he went to Let It Go. Okay, so that's pretty awesome, man. By the way, why won't you ever give Elsa a balloon? Because she'll let it go. No, I'm just playing, guys. But, yeah, I mean, when it comes to Craig Kimbrel, I think it's definitely fitting. I think he needs to let it go when it comes to the first part of his season and just have a clean slate, start a new chapter with this new song. And I think that, hey, Timmy Trumpets, Edwin Diaz, the do, that's fire. But, hey, I'm going with Craig Kimbrel's Let It Go if the results are like this. Trade Belly for some Mickey D gift cards. That's from Gordon over there. San Francisco is eliminated from Stan, the Rams fan. Hey, Stan, a big week for you. Your Los Angeles Rams are going to be back in action. I'm pretty sure you're excited about that. Am I right? But, yeah. Back into here we go. Bandwagon Dodger fans. There's no such thing. LOL Padres trolls. Pretty dope shirt, Doug. Nice. Yeah, man. You know I got to rep my Lakers and my Dodgers. Born and raised, LA. Let's do it. I sound like I'm looking for a sponsor. Yeah, born and raised, man. Come sponsor the show for the stretch run. We got the magic number. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is now 7. The same number as Julio Urias. The Urias because the Padres, it was going to be 6, but the Padres, they end up coming back and beating the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. I had one more Vargas in left field. That's from Swellin' Sausage. Yeah, I mean, Dave said before the game today that they want Miguel Vargas all around the diamond, whether it be at third base or first base or in left field, to spell Freddie Freeman at first base. Like I've said, it's going to be difficult to get Freddie Freeman out of there. You're going to have to put a barbed wire fence around first base and have some security guards escort him out of first base, but he's going to need some time off, get him some rest. But here we go. We got Alex Renteria. D-Mac, if Soto is getting booed and wants to get eliminated, how soon will Soto request a trade? That's from Alex Renteria. Anthony Keene, am I doing fantasy football? I'm offended that you asked me that question, man. Of course I'm doing fantasy football. I actually got Christian McCaffrey with the 7th pick today, and Joe Mixon with my 2nd pick. So I'm going to need to stay healthy, but yeah. We got a big, but yeah, that's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question, Alex Renteria, regarding Juan Soto. I don't think that it'll be a situation where he'll request a trade. Yes, that's always possible, but I think they'll try to make things work out in San Diego. I think when you consider you got Bob Melvin and Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. coming back, a nice core of players that will work out for, try to want to keep him there. I just don't see that happening. I mean, anything's possible, but if you look at his numbers so far in San Diego, an 802 OPS, he's slashing 245, 408, 394. That on-base percentage is identical to what it was with Washington. That batting average is just 1 point below, but it's the OPS. The slug really hasn't been there. I mean, 3 home runs, 3 doubles in 121 plate appearances. I didn't see what his numbers were tonight, but yeah, I think it's, look, if you're the Padres, I think that it really makes a lot of sense to try to root on your players and not boo them because, yeah, I mean, you're talking about a Juan Soto that he is still an on-base machine. He still leads the league in walks, still has the best plate discipline in the league. It's just about really getting that slug and really just kind of catching fire at the plate. So, yeah, I think that just goes to show. I mean, Padres fans, you're not Yankees fans. You have 1-0. Juan Soto by himself has one more World Series ring than the entire San Diego Padres organization, okay? I just looked at the Padres trophy case. There's nothing in there. So the fact that they're booing, it just shows you, what are they doing in San Diego, man? Act like you've been there. Oh, wait, they haven't. As far as being at the very end. They made some World Series appearances, but they have not won the game's ultimate prize. So, yeah. We got Miguel. We got Let's Go Dodgers. Wash hands. Eliminated bandwagon. We got X-Dog, X-Grit, X-Him. That's from Anthony. Yeah, I like that one. That's fire take. That is a contender for... That's such a fire take, guys, and it's so hot here in Los Angeles. I'm going to have to wash things down with a crisp and refreshing Jim Beam Highball Seltzer. These things are fired. Please drink responsibly. Jim Beam Highball, guys.
You win.
Santa Maria 805 in the house from Ruben Moreno. Belly will figure it out. He will. That's from Moose 1032. I appreciate your optimism there. Get down at below 500 bums. You guys are going at it with that fan? Okay. Injuries equal belly bomb. Diane Schroeder. Yeah, I mean, Belly's bombed. Has had a belly flop of a time since that 2019 season. But let's not forget, without Cody Bellinger, the Dodgers probably don't win the 2020 World Series. If Cody Bellinger doesn't rob Fernando Tatis Jr. of his lunch money, that series could get very interesting. If Cody Bellinger doesn't hit that home run in Game 7 of the NLCS, maybe the Dodgers don't even advance to the World Series in 2020. Last season, if Cody Bellinger doesn't hit that single against the Giants in Game 5 of the NLDS, maybe they don't even make it to the NLCS. And can you imagine if Giants fans had that on you, if they had that trump card on you saying we beat you in our one and only postseason matchup? I couldn't live with that. So I'm still very grateful for Cody Bellinger and what he's done for this Dodgers team, and that is why I'm reluctant to completely sell all my stock when it comes to Belly. And that is why I'm a self-proclaimed and a very ardent supporter of Cody Bellinger, because something just magically happens to him in the postseason. And look, I haven't asked Cody Bellinger this question yet. Next time I get a chance to, I'm going to ask Cody Bellinger in the clubhouse. I'm going to say, Cody Bellinger, you had so much success in the 2021 postseason. A 907 OPS. You were right behind Chris Taylor in pretty much every offensive category. Why did you revert from that setup that was working for you, where you had lower hands, where it was allowing you a better chance to barrel up fastballs up in the zone? It just allowed him to make contact better. And if you look at his postseason numbers, they were pretty impressive when you consider how terrible his season was last season. I mean, in the regular season, he literally hit 353 and had a 907 OPS in 12 games. He was third behind Mookie Betts and Chris Taylor with 12 hits. He had a home run and a double, 11 strikeouts. The strikeouts were there, and as Jamie pointed out, his BABIP was definitely in his favor, but still, he was just able to get contact better last season, and then now you're seeing him straight up, bat parallel, and it just hasn't worked out for him. And like I said, I gave you those numbers earlier, and really the strikeout rate isn't up considerably from his golden years from 2017 to 2019. It's just the hard contact isn't there. He's not barreling up balls consistently enough, and really the way that opponents attack him is just, look, it's breaking balls low and away. It's fastballs up in the zone. He's hitting under 180 this season against elevated fastballs. So when they know your cold spots, they're going to target those. And I think with Cody Bellinger, there's just it feels like they're stubborn. It feels like there's a stubborn element to it where he's saying, hey, I'm going to do things my way. I was an MVP. I was an all-star player. I did this. I did that. But, man, you have not been that player for quite some time. And I think that it would behoove Belly to really just completely restructure his swing and rework it, or else he's going to be without a job with the Dodgers. And that's just the sad reality of the situation, because the Dodgers, yes, they print money, but they're also a smart organization, and they're not going to pay a player that is 23% below league average when it comes to offensive productivity $17 million a year. Yes, he is a Gold Glove caliber outfielder. Yes, he's like a Roomba out there. He covers more territory than a Roomba in a mansion. But that's not worth $17 million a year. I don't care how good your defense is. It is just not. But we got, in honor of Diane Schroeder, hit that like button. Yeah, I like that. That's Diane. Diane's like the hype man of the channel. A Young E7. D-Mac, who's the most dangerous team in a 5-game series, Braves or Mets? Alex Renteria. I'll give you the answer to that question. Absolutely, it's the Atlanta Braves, in my opinion, because Max Scherzer is injured. DeGrom, we got Mookie Betts. He'll hit another bomb. But no, I think they're both potentially dangerous. But this Braves team, they've been there. They know how to win. They've made it to the end. And yes, you don't have Freddie Freeman. We have Freddie Freeman now. But I still think this Braves team, I love their depth more than I love the Mets' depth. I love the Braves' offense over the Mets' offense. And we've seen Max Fried, how much success that he's had with how much success he's had against the Dodgers over the years. So I would definitely say the Braves in that situation. I think you could say in a short series, it's interesting, because in a short series, if they can, because if they're gonna have to play in that wild card series. So let's say the Mets, who are, I think, ahead of the Braves now by 1 game, it shrunk to 1 game. If they have to play in that wild card series, they're not going to be able to line up their rotation like they would be able to if they were able to win that division and then face the Dodgers in the NLCS. If they have to face the Dodgers in the DS, you might be seeing a Chris Bassett in Game 1 if you're LA, or a Cookie Carrasco, or a T1 Walker, someone like that. You're not going to be seeing a DeGrom or Scherzer possibly, and then Scherzer, he is injured. I think the Dodgers dodged a bullet by not re-signing Max Scherzer because, look, I think the Dodgers probably got his last best stretch run there at the end of the 2021 postseason. But here we go. Trey needs to perform in this postseason. Carnivorous lunar activity. I agree with you 100%, but let me just tell you a couple things. One, yes, last year Trey hit basically 200. He had a sub-600 OPS for his career. He has a 561 career postseason OPS. Just 3 home runs for Trey Turner in his postseason career. I think in 167 at-bats off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure. But the thing is, Corey Seager, before the 2020 postseason, all Dodger fans, not all of them, but a lot of them said Corey Seager is a choke artist in October. Corey Seager can't get it done in the bright lights, under the bright lights of postseason baseball. But what happened? Corey Seager turned into Corey Slugger. He went into God mode. It was a Corey book postseason for Seager. And before that, he had a 203 batting average for his career in the postseason, and then in the 2021 postseason, he just went absolutely insane. So yeah, I think if you're Corey Seager, if you're Trey Turner, he was also a shortstop, and I think that he can turn things around. I mean, just look at Corey Seager's postseason numbers in 2020. He had a 1171 OPS / 328, 425, 746, 8 home runs, 20 RBI, 4 doubles, 22 hits. I mean, he went crazy. So yeah, we need to see Trey Turner do the same thing. I agree, and I think he's going to be motivated to do so because it is his platform season. It is his walk season, and he knows that if he comes through in the postseason, he's going to set himself up for a massive contract, upwards of $220 to $280 million. I mean, it could get crazy if he just goes crazy and wins the NLCS or World Series MVP and really leads this team. So, yeah, I mean, I do agree, though. It's a major factor, and it's interesting, everyone wants the Dodgers to extend Trey Turner, but hey, what I always say, you don't pay your barbershop before you see how your haircut was, right? And I think the Dodgers, there's a part of them that might have wanted to see how he performs in October. We're here, a couple more guys. We got D-Mac with the shameless Jim Beam plug, Alex Renteria. Hey, man, we got to pay the bills some way. Speaking of Jim Beam, I'm getting thirsty, man. I could really use a sip of this Jim Beam Highball Seltzer. Please drink responsibly.
You win.
Hey, guys, just so we can have more shows, right? We got to pay the bills. Cody is clutch. David Raw, yeah, I mean, he is clutch. He has some clutch moments. Look, other than Kirk Gibson's home run in Game 1 of the 1988 World Series off of Dennis Eckersley, that's one of the biggest bombs in Dodgers history. You can make a case it's the second most important home run in franchise history. But Arvin Akane, we got Belly, will be the World Series MVP. Gabriel Lazaro, you are coming in scorching hot, man. You are hotter than L.A. weather right now with that one. Give Cody a pony on his way out the door, Doug. Manny Man Dodge. Interesting. If we send Belly to San Francisco, he can still help us beat the Giants. Oh, my goodness. You guys are... You guys are just on one tonight. I love it, man. Mariners-Dodgers World Series. Rusty Plyer 74. I like that take. Hey, the Mariners... They haven't been in the postseason since 2001, since the iPhone was revealed, it's just been such a long time ago. I still think it's going to be Dodgers-Astros. I want pizza. Go order some pizza, man. Anthony Keene, if the Dodgers had lost to the Giants, I'd have to move. No way I could stay in the Bay under those circumstances. Anthony Keene, so you're with me, right? Cody Bellinger doesn't get that hit, and maybe they lose to the Giants, and I agree with you. I just would not. I would lose sleep at night to this day just thinking about the Giants. But, hey, the Dodgers, they end up winning that series. But if you're the Giants, maybe you say, hey, we kind of beat the Dodgers in the fact that we made them chase us all year. We made them we didn't necessarily make them, but they go to Max Scherzer to close that game, and it looked like that compromised Scherzer for the following series. But carnivorous loser activity. Bills Thursday, interesting. Super Bowl Rays. Yeah, give me your Super Bowl picks. Why not? Anthony Akane, how can Belly barrel up balls with that swing standing straight up? Diane Schroeder, exactly. I mean, the fact that it's evident to all of us that swing isn't working, and he's always late on fastballs. I mean, yeah, not to be a wet blanket, but people need to slow down on Trayce Thompson. Yes, he's doing great this season, but he needs to show consistency from season to season, LLWC. Yeah, I think maybe you could say pump the brakes a little bit on Trayce Thompson. The fact that, I think yesterday it was great to see him hit a home run off a lefty because that was really what he was supposed to be, right? A guy who could mash lefties, and instead he's put up those reverse splits. But yeah, we'll see. Send Belly back down. Belly needs a reset from Mr. Cat. USC Trojans. Okay, fight on for you, my man, David Reyes. You did your thing. With that big win. That offense looked pretty explosive. I'm not mad at you, man. The dead man, Lord Paul Morales. D-Mac, do we see Outman before this season ends? Will we see Bobby Miller called up to make a couple of starts? Belly is a great defender, but he lost his batting skills. I think everything's on the table at this point, especially when you consider the fact that Tony Gonsolin, like Dave Roberts said before the game, his healing, his progress hasn't been as quick as they had hoped. So with Tony Gonsolin dealing with some injuries, who knows what we see. Andrew Heaney struggling with the home run ball. I mean, he's given up 10 home runs his last 4 starts. So I do think you see Bobby Miller, he's just down there, 14 punch outs his last start. When you consider too Ryan Pepio, He clearly doesn't have it. He clearly doesn't have. I mean, he's filthy. Don't get me like I'm not selling my Pepio stock. I think he's got a lot of Pepio in his Stepio. I think after a nice little pep talk, he can come back up and at some point help his team. But at this point, he's just not attacking the zone with enough strikes. And I rewatched his start the other day, and it's almost like he's too fine out there on the mound in the sense that he either wants to miss bats, wants to get chased out of the zone, but is afraid of contact out there. And it's kind of similar to what we saw with Gonsolin when he struggled last season. Is look, you got to pitch to contact at times. You got to put that ball in play and trust your defense. And I think that's kind of the next step for him because, look, the reality is that's one of the best changeups in baseball, even right now. It's just when you're not locating that fastball and you don't have the command of that fastball, major league hitters, if they're sitting on a changeup, they can hit that. So he needs to be a little more dynamic. But, yeah, I do think it's possible with James Outman. Of course, James Outman, I mean, he's like a fairy tale down there. 2 cycles in 1 week. I mean, that's just insanity. But, look, man, we'll see. Sometimes some of you guys want Belly out, man. And maybe you'll see James Outman next year. But I think for this season, I think Doc's going to trust his guys. And I don't know, he has hinted at a meritocracy as well, and there is more depth. So we'll see how this – I think, look, the Dodgers have this big cushion. The magic number is 7 to win the division, but there's definitely a lot to play for when you talk about this bullpen and guys earning spots, and you talk about this bench and really guys just trying to get on a good hot streak to find a rhythm before the postseason begins. There's still a lot to watch for this team. But D-Mac, think the Dodgers make a run at DeGrom? Interesting you asked that question, Anthony King, because I've been thinking about that last couple weeks because we know DeGrom, the DeGrominator, is going to opt out. He has already specified that. He's made it known. And the big question with Jacob DeGrom is can he stay healthy? Just because, look, when he's on the mound, he's the best pitcher in the world. I'm not debating that at all, but I also think that he's going to find a way to get himself a contract upwards of $200+ million. And look, the crazy thing about DeGrom is, I mean, look, DeGrom he's already 30, I think he's 34 years old, right? Jacob DeGrom is 34 years old, but he did get a late start. He's 34 years old, and he did get a late start, so I do think he's still going to get a nice deal, maybe $175, $200 million. It just depends on his health. But I go back and forth. Like I said, I go back and forth. And, yeah, I mean, he's a guy that's only a few months younger than Clayton Kershaw, I believe, right? Kershaw's birthday is March 1998. And, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, he's Kershaw's only a few months older. So we'll see. I do think that depending on what happens in the offseason when it comes to, just look at last season, right? The Dodgers, they made an offer to Max Scherzer, okay? He ends up signing that $130 million deal. The Dodgers offered him a deal over $70 million, right? They offered Corey Seager $290 million. That was the rumored price they offered him. So what happened when they didn't get those guys? They went after Freddie Freeman and signed him to a 6-year, $165 million deal. So the Dodgers are in a position where if there is money available and there is interest, I think they might consider going after him. I think that if Kershaw retires, I think they're going to offer Tyler Anderson the qualifying offer. We'll see if they can get a deal done with him. But, hey, anything's always on the table for the Dodgers. I mean, they offered Garrett Cole a contract over $300 million a few years ago. And you also factor in that, Walker Buehler isn't ruling out 2023, but still he's going to miss most of the season. And that was the Dodgers' opening day starter last year. So they might look to fortify their rotation with another ace. But, yeah, I'm going to drop a whole video on some I've had some Dodger fans ask me, what about Justin Verlander? That's not going to happen. But here we go. A couple more. We'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Jog helped us eliminate San Francisco. Suba Steve. More Trace Thompson. We got Rams being underrated. Bills so overhyped. That's from Fall. Yeah, Bills really lots of hype for the Bills. Rams, Chiefs, Super Bowl. That's from Doug over on YouTube. Super Bowl is going to be the Niners versus Buffalo. The Chargers. Scotty Pimpin. By the way, Scotty Pimpin over on YouTube. That is a fire name right there. Scotty Pimpin. I see what you did right there. Belly just needs to calm down at the plate. Belly looks like he's golfing from Ruben Moreno. We got, bro, it's still in the high 80s where I'm at. I hate it here, bro. It's super hot. Fernie Doug, you're the GOAT Dodgers Nation member. Go. Hey, thanks, Fernie. Appreciate you, my man. we're all trying to bring that all the content all season long, man. All we need is for the Dodgers to heat up in the playoffs. That's from bring up Bobby Miller from Craig Osterberg, Diane Schroeder. We need to bring up some young arms to fill in some space to give the starters a break. WB Pep needs another year. Yeah, definitely. Look, what does Oral Hershiser say? You got to get 600 innings before you can really make a determination on a young starter, a young pitcher. And look, you got to trust the talent, trust the raw stuff. And you saw, look out his start against Sandy Alcantara. You saw what he was able to do in that one, that when he's on, he can go to toe-to-toe with some of the best starters in the league. So I'm still betting on his talent and his stuff. It's just a work in progress. He is a project at this point. And look, the reality is he has a really elite pitch in that changeup. The reality is that he has some explosive stuff. It's just about harnessing. He's like a young superhero that has all these. He's like a young Spider-Man or something that has all these discovered all these superpowers, but he doesn't know how to harness it just quite yet. So he'll figure things out. I have a lot of faith in him. Pepio needs some more seasoning. Where we go? Yeah, he needs some more seasoning. He needs some more salt and some more pepper. DeGrom, he'll be okay. Cody isn't listening to Hitting Coaches from E-Man over on YouTube. We got Carnivorous Lunar Activity. It will be a short deal. He's going to want a long-term deal. Don Kim, D-Mac, have you been watching the Legacy documentary on the Lakers? Thoughts? Don Kim, I saw the first couple episodes. Honestly, a lot of my friends, they were like, oh, it's Lakers propaganda. It was a response to Winning Time. I actually liked it. I'm a big Lakers, love all things Lakers. I thought it was a little... you can see how they're being very sensitive with the information. Are you really getting the raw story? But probably not. But I still think just the raw footage alone and the way they did it was pretty impressive. I don't think it's as good as The Last Dance or anything like that. But I've enjoyed it so far. We'll see. I'm curious to see when it kind of gets to more of the era when I started really getting to Lakers late 90s with Kobe, Shaq, and the whole gang, and how they covered that. But so far so good. I'm not sure I don't think Kobe Bryant was able to be an interviewer on this. That would have been pretty awesome. But I'm excited to hear about this Kobe one that a lot of people have been talking about. The rumors with Kobe's last season, almost like a last dance. That's the one I'm really excited to see. But so far, not too bad. I'd probably give it like a 7, 7.5. What are your thoughts, Dong? Beat LA, KCM. You couldn't beat LA, and I'm surprised you even said beat LA, because don't you guys say beat LA? Because that's how you spell it up in San Francisco, but nice try. D-Mac and the rest of the hold my beer. Judge is going to get paid and fall back to earth. Francisco Verhon. Yeah, it kind of does feel like that. I'm not like crazy in love with the idea of paying Aaron Judge big money. I think he's a guy that is a little older than people realize. He's 30 years old. He'll be 31 his first season. A guy that big with that swing. He's really put himself, 6'7", 282. So, yeah, you have the DH. Yeah, you can move around the outfield. But, yeah, I'm a little reluctant on that one. I think also when you consider the shortstop is definitely a hole for the Dodgers. But here we go. Stan the Rams fan said Rams 34, Bills 17, a back-to-back Rams title. Interesting. That'd be pretty. Man, the Rams really coming up if that happened. But I think what was the last back-to-back? Wasn't it the Seahawks? 2014, 2015 was the last back-to-back champions. I think the Patriots did it once too, like 04 and 05. Of course, I remember the Broncos did it back-to-back too. The John Elway helicopter, 98, 99. But this is a pretty diverse stream tonight, guys. We're talking about the NBA. We're talking about the NFL. Meanwhile, the Dodgers are the best team in the league, and they eliminated the Giants today. Max Muncy owns the Giants. Craig Kimbrel has been a different guy since change. I never thought I would say that in a million years. Think about what I'm saying. Craig Kimbrel has turned his season around, not from some mechanical adjustment, not from the different way to attack hitters or a different pitch, or he's figured out velocity or his breaking ball. No, what turned his season around, it is the fact that he changed his entrance song to Let It Go from the Disney hit Frozen. That is just unbelievable. But, hey, if he's going to go with Frozen, I just hope he has ice in his veins when he's coming out of there in October if he's going to get that opportunity. But, yeah, a couple more here, guys. Let's walk it off. Who's going to hit the walk-off shot here down below in the comments section? Sam Crandall over on YouTube. D-Max, so the Padres miss the playoffs. I mean, can you imagine 2 years in a row I mean, their collapse last year was absolutely historic. And I'll never forget, of course, Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. yelling at each other in the dugout. That, to me, was the indelible image of last year's collapse by the Padres. And this year, yeah, I mean, it's starting to get a little dicey because as of right now, they are on the outside looking in. It looks like it'll be an NL East wild card mix. Lots of NL East teams. So, of course, wow. So the Braves and the Mets are actually tied at 85 and 51 after today. Of course, the Cardinals, they have that division on lock, but the Philadelphia Phillies, man, they really have come up since changing their manager, man. I mean, since they went to Rob Thompson, that was after they fired Joe Girardi. And I don't know when they do that. I mean, they did that back in June, I believe. But it'd be very interesting if it was the San Diego Padres not make it. That would be just the most Padres thing ever. Can we just be honest about that? After trading everything from Ron Burgundy, the Channel 4 News team, the whole entire Gaslamp District, Legoland, the San Diego Zoo, SeaWorld, they tried to trade it all, plus their farm system for Juan Soto and Josh Bell and Brandon Drury and Josh Hader. For them to miss the postseason after all that would be just the most Padres things ever. It would be so sad, Diego. But last back-to-back Pats 0-4. Yeah, that's what I thought. The Seahawks. The Seahawks didn't, did they? I think so. No, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Back into the comments. Yeah, remember Malcolm Brown? That was pretty amazing. Yeah, that's just the Patriots 04-05. But here we go, back into the comment section. We're gonna do a couple more here, and I thought you said appearances. Yeah, wins, of course. We know what happened with the Seahawks, and that was one of the most memorable Super Bowl plays ever. Of course, Malcolm Butler. Man, I still can't believe they didn't just run that in. I mean, I just cannot believe they didn't run that play in. Of course, I feel like you've heard that that Pete Carroll had a history of trying to get quarterbacks MVPs and statistics and this and that, but I mean, just run that with Marshawn Lynch and they would have won another Super Bowl. But here we go, the Padres, the Clippers of baseball. Yo, what's up, D-Mac? What up, Face Lord? Mookie and Freeman co-MVP. Yeah, San Diego Padres from Tyler Hill. Missed you, pal. Hey, I'm back, guys. But yep, guys, thanks for rocking with us. Yeah, the crazy story about Pete Carroll. Yeah, remember when Mark Sanchez was the quarterback at USC? He actually would call the Pac-12 on screen passes, and instead of giving the running back credit for it, he would try to get it switched to where Mark Sanchez could get the touchdown pass. But I'll never forget that. When Malcolm Butler he had that interception. Well, that was just crazy, man. But yep, guys, back. Let me know down below in the that's gonna do it for this show, the Dodgers Nation post game show. My name is Doug McCain. Thanks for rocking with us as always. A Syringe Diego PED raise. Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. Should we trade Belly? Well, don't forget, folks. Tomorrow's game is at 1:10. Yeah, thanks for the reminder there, LWC. Yeah, tomorrow's is going to be a 1:10 start, and you got Clayton Edward Kershaw going up against Alex Cobb. So hopefully the Dodgers can get another dub. And then they have a day off Thursday, and then Friday they are going to San Diego on a 3-game set before they're going on a little road trip, too. Following that, they're going to Arizona. But thanks again, guys, for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. A couple more here. Kershaw's tomorrow. By DMAC, Best Dodgers YouTube channel. I think it's Tyler Hill. Goat Shaw on tap. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Doug, I'd rather find out. This is from David over on YouTube. Hey, Doug, I'd rather find out my girlfriend is cheating on me than lose to the Giants. That's a fire take.
Fire take.
Uncle Charlie on the hill. But thanks, guys. And here at LLWC, the season ends with a 5-game series against the Rockies. Yep. Smash that like button. Peace out, D-Mac. Peace out, Pound for Pound, and the rest of Dodgers Nation. See you guys next time. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodgers. You are the D in Dodgers. Thanks, Cody. Best channel. Thanks, guys. But yeah, thanks for rocking with us, guys. Appreciate all your takes as always. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at DMAC_LA. See you guys next time. It's time for Dodger bedtime for all you guys out there. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger.